What's up, guys? Welcome to the Casual Horror Fan channel. My name is Dan. Today, we're going to go through 5 things that bother me about great movies. And I might even throw in a bonus for a movie that I don't particularly like, but is generally considered a great movie. These are 5 movies that I really like. There's an aspect about them that I think is kind of goofy. Okay, we're going to start things off with maybe my favorite horror film. It's The Shining. Here's kind of my problem, okay? The Shining is a descent into madness. And the problem is that Jack's kind of a lunatic from Jump Street. I mean, you have the scene with Danny where he's talking about cannibals. You have the interview where he seems pretty unhinged. Now, again, he's also obviously an asshole. He had drinking problems. He got Danny hurt. Again, we can maybe view that as an accident if we're being very generous to the character. But he's clearly not a good dude. Now, a bad dude does not an axe murderer make. It's still obviously a descent into madness. He was an otherwise, he was an otherwise normal guy who was just kind of a douche. But I think might be a better story if Jack was just a regular dude and not kind of a loon going in. I say that, however, and I'm not totally sure because it constantly leaves in these when you have Jack as kind of a douche, it leaves these, well, how long has the hotel been working on him, right? Can Jack shine? I do think Jack can shine. And has he been receiving dark messages for a long time, etc.? Okay. We're moving on to a movie that I guess isn't really a classic, but it's sort of a cult classic. And it's a small pet peeve, but it got me. It's A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dreamwarriors. And here, the problem is inconsistent rules. And I don't know why more people don't talk about this. Maybe because they're not weird and they don't pick up on little things. But here's the thing. In the initial Friday the 13th, Freddy is actually hurting the people. So it's like Johnny Depp is on the ceiling and like his blood's coming out because he's literally being stabbed. It's happening in a dream. It kind of doesn't make that much sense. This one makes more sense, but then it's inconsistent with the first one, right? So it's like when Freddy has his guts, it's actually just the guy kind of like walking, right? So it's actually the people doing it to themselves, which again, it kind of makes more sense, but I don't think it's internally consistent with the first movie. It's a small gripe, all right? Listen, it's a pretty good movie either way, though. Number 3, we have a true classic, one of my favorites. It's Halloween from 1978, and this is something that got me in a later watch, okay? And I think that you could give me some pushback on this, and feel free to. I find Loomis's like evil incarnate Reed feels like a huge leap from one flat kill as a kid, right? So it's like obviously Michael is a little kid and he does something awful. Okay, it's totally, I don't know, I wouldn't say it's unforgivable. There's nothing really unforgivable, but he does something absolutely terrible and he should be shipped away. Okay, but he doesn't seem like he does anything while he's in the ward, while he's with Loomis. It's just like, so Loomis, just from like looking into his eyes, knows that this guy is like a psychopathic murderer and not just, I don't know, a weirdo. Like to go from he did something terrible and did basically nothing for 18 years into like, hey, we need to kill this person on sight because of his eyes. It just seems like kind of a jump for me. Okay. The next one is one that I actually think this whole scene is both really cool, but also kind of borderline jumps the shark, and it's Scream and it's Tatum's garage scene. All right. So first of all, like it's a busy party, right? And like they're in the garage, which is where the beer is. So like obviously there's going to be people coming in and out. It's too dangerous to go for the kill there to begin with. And like when they start yelling, I guess you wouldn't hear it, but like there would be people nearby. It just seems like a little too much. And then the kill itself, it's kind of cool. It's pretty creative. And I understand she's little. I understand she's skinny, but she would never attempt to get through that way. Like there's so many things that you could do there that make so much more sense than trying to go through the doggy door. And then on top of it, it's like, how was she even killed? Like, I understand this was, what is Scream, 1999? Like, okay, you may not have had like an auto stop, but I don't know, like kick your feet up or something. It seems like just like this slow, like, I don't know, it reminds me of like Austin Powers with like, the truck coming and the guy's like just waiting and it's going like half a mile an hour. It's kind of goofy. It's kind of good. It's always bothered me a little bit. Okay. Next one is a little bit different. And I've only recently found myself really liking this movie. I wouldn't say it's in my top 10 or anything, but it is definitely in a lot of people's top 10. It's The Thing. And this is a small issue. Well, it's not a small, this is a little bit different. I just find like 2/3 of the movie to be so freaking good, so intense. And the first third, or maybe like the first quarter, if I'm being fair, to just be terribly boring. Like, honestly, if nobody told me that The Thing was great, I could totally see myself putting it on for 10 minutes and being like, nah, this ain't for me, man. I'm good. Thankfully, I have pushed through and I now consider it a great movie, but I just feel like there's nothing really that captures you in that first 20 or so minutes of the film. Now, an extra, okay, this one is going to be very hot, and this is like such an iconic moment, but it always bothered me. And maybe it's because I find myself being like an overly rational person. It's in Aliens. Now, I kept it off my list because I'm not a huge fan of Aliens. I don't really think it's a great movie. Here's the thing, okay? Ripley going back for Newt never happens, right? It doesn't really fit the character that we saw in Alien. It's not that she doesn't care. It's not that she wouldn't save her if she could. It's that it's literally a guaranteed suicide mission, right? It doesn't make sense to go back for the girl. Now, it could make sense to go back for the girl if you're like, hey, listen, we're not making it off this ship. Let me make sure that this girl isn't alone in her dying moments. Okay, that makes sense. But to go back, which you would never do because there isn't enough time and you simply can't save her, but to go back and then try to save her and get away, it just, I think it's too much. I think it's asking too much for me, for a viewer. It's when Ripley solidifies herself as, get away from her, you bitch. The ultimate, what is it called? Mary Sue. And to me, it kind of ruins the movie, although there's a lot of things that ruin the movie. Also, the Marines are just unbearably obnoxious. But anyway, guys, that's my 5, sort of 6 great movies that have little things about them that bother me. Let me know what you thought, and I will see you in the next one. Also, please make sure to like and subscribe. We upload Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.